Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in your hood. I am absolutely Adia.
Then I am the franchise.
This is the quad.
The quad, we in the building. We've got a very, very special guest. I'm going to call him a good friend of mine, Mr. Ronnie Russell. Let me get into his bio real quick. He's a 22-year retired infantryman in the United States Army. He's been to Iraq twice, Bosnia one time. His awards and decorations are the Bronze Star, the Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, and numerous Army commendation medals. He also was a former infantry drill sergeant. I can believe that. At Fort Bennings. Former infantry drill sergeant. Yeah. Who's trained and spent countless hours training America's sons. Ronnie Russell was nominated for the NAACP Service Award in 2010. He is the 32nd recipient of the Blacks in Government Award in 2010. Also, that was a good year for you. With a diverse publishing background, he started Hawaii's first ever tattoo magazine called 808 Inc. Ronnie Russell also created the Army's first enterprise mobile app in South Korea called Penn Around, and also have a love for community service. Yeah, we're getting a lot of notifications over here. Like, come on.
His Cash App or something. I don't know.
Payment received.
And brought dollar.
He has grown Texas Black Pages from an 87-member business directory to over 5,000 businesses listed in less than 17 months.
Amazing.
Give it up for Mr. Ronnie Russell in the building.
Hand claps on
Mr.
that.
Ronnie Russell in the building. Yeah. What's going on with you, sir?
I'm tired.
You're tired.
No, it can't be. No, you ain't tired.
No, come on.
Okay, I'm fatigued. Yeah, I'm fatigued. Yeah.
So the Texas Black Pages now.
Yes, sir.
I want you to talk to us about, what that is exactly, and the vision for that. I know that we met at several different vending events, several different times throughout the course of the last few years. And I know that you get around and you put a lot of work in. Yeah. So you built this thing from the ground up, 17 months, Texas Black Pages. Tell us about it.
Texas Black Pages, I was working on it when I was in the military. And when I retired, like I was saying, in 2016, there was only 87 businesses registered on Texas Black Pages. And once I retired in September of 2019, of 22 years in service, I was able to work my passion and go to different conferences and summits and stuff like that. And again, in less than 17 months, it went from 87 to 5,000, over 5,000. Right now, I'm at over 7,000 today.
It's amazing.
And today, there was an alignment between two black business directories. I put on paper, signed a MOU with one Blink, so it's one BBLINK. Which is a national black business directory. She has, Miss Reese has over 16,000 black businesses nationwide. I have over 7,000 here in Texas itself. So we represent over 23,000 black businesses within our network. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about having some spending and buying power, utilizing those gifts and talents that we have. And that's what Texas Black Pages is about, is to develop a resourceful resource. Because when you develop a resourceful resource, you always have the ability to bring godly counsel. You always have the ability to reach out and connect people. Like a couple of times we're reaching out, hey man, you got anybody that do this? Hey, hold on, let me check this out. And I give you those names, and the same thing. Like if you said, well, I'm about to go to Natchitoches. Yeah, I know you were saying a crazy name. I'm about to go to Natchitoches. Do you know a restaurant that I can go to? Mm-hmm. Then the directory will allow you to actually go and find what you want to patronize before you get there. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. There's 254 counties in this state, but we're still underrepresented. But yet we still have the largest African American population in the nation. But we're still underrepresented. That's why the state agencies have a department called HUB, which is historically underutilized businesses. Mm-hmm. That means the data shows that we're not being patronized as at the same time or speed or even with the numbers as our counterparts. Mm-hmm. When they asked me, why do you continue to do Texas Black Pages? Why would you still do Texas Black Pages? And I told them, until the historically underutilized business program is completely wiped out, then I'll stop Texas Black Pages. But I don't think it's going to stop. So Texas Black Pages is it's actually a tech company. It falls under the umbrella of my corporation, which is R2 Publishing. And under that, I have R2 Media Group, which house Texas Black Pages. So it's an actual company. It's not just a directory. It's actually a business, a for-profit business. But this is how we grow. We grow sitting in rooms like this, as men and women, knowing what and how we want to move our culture. That's what Texas Black Pages is. Your Texas Black Pages, because your page that you write is the lineage that you're creating for your family. I'm just blessed with the gift of enterprise. I'm not Texas Black Pages. You guys are Texas Black Pages because it's your story.
The companies that are involved with Texas Black Pages.
So
Exactly.
you talked a lot about where you're going and where you're at right now, but let's go back to the beginning. And initially, how did you develop the passion for it?
I got lost. For real, I got lost.
Going to a restaurant?
As in, I don't know where the hell I'm at. Lost. So, and that's the same thing I did with that mobile app in Korea. My soldiers kept getting lost. So when I got here, when I signed in to Fort Hood and Killeen, when I signed into Fort Hood, of course, I'm still new. Mm-hmm. And with me being in Texas, in the state that I didn't know where it was, besides if you go to California, you have to go through Texas, and there's nothing until you get close to El Paso. That's the only thing I knew about Texas. So once I got here and asking questions, where's this, where's that? I'm a very independent person. So in order for me to find out where to go, I started doing my own research. But then when you come in, you're coming in with over 200, 300 people. No one knows still where to go. So when you begin to look and become the resource and try to find and research, so you have to consolidate it. And that's what I did. So me being lost in a state where I had no family, I had to familiarize myself with the law of the land, and that's pretty much what we do in the military. Once you go to a new location, you incorporate yourself with the local population, and then you understand the law of the land before you take action from there. There was a disconnect which we still see in our communities. There was a disconnect between where things are and where you wanted to go. Mm-hmm. You got the people who don't feel like talking to you, and you have the people who don't know what the hell they talking about. The platform was created so you can ensure that, one, I can find what I'm looking for.
Very good. So when it comes to the businesses, like what kind of work do you actually do with the businesses that are in the directory? Like, other than I have a business, I'm on the directory. Mm-hmm. What else can we expect from?
It's marketing. That's one of the things that black businesses, I'm not going to say lack in, but that's one of the things that black businesses have a need of improvement in, it's language. Language to me is very important. Also have the ability to teach social media, because I'm social media certified. There's an actual certification for it. Being social media certified, you're able to look at different platforms and still be a mentor to that business. Say, hey, I recommend that you change this, or the wording that you had, it might be different. Try that out, or stuff like that. So I also teach social media classes to small businesses just so they can win. Because the one thing that we need in our businesses are educators. Mm-hmm. Educators become mentors. Mentors become mentees. Mm-hmm. Mentees become mentors. That's the cycle that we have to perpetuate if we're going to move this needle forward. Until we perpetuate education, then we will never perpetuate the thought and the concept of collaborative and cooperative economics.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So what's the duration that businesses are listed?
Forever.
There's no
forever. Yeah. Forever.
Okay.
Once you register your business, is there forever until you go out of business, and then most likely you probably won't go in there and delete it because you're already distraught about how your business pretty much didn't make it. Until someone say, hey, this business went out of business, then I go in the back office and then I delete it. Okay. But the goal is to create a legacy and also to create lineage, because that's, again, one of the things that we lack in our community is how do we create lineage? We create lineage by ensuring that the information is passed down.
And do you check up on them like periodically? Do you do any type of okay?
Yeah, I do check. I may shoot in your DM. Hey, you got anything going on? I'm doing this now. Do you have an event coming up? And then I'll blast that out. I mean, it's to me, it's a family. You know, because it's important, because I have a responsibility to check on you. I have a responsibility to ask you where you are, because I've taken that responsibility on myself. Just like I tell people, business is my ministry. When you understand what your ministry is, ministry has nothing to do with any biblical sense. Business is my ministry because I believe in the passion and the spirit of education. I believe in the passion and the spirit of ownership. So business is my ministry. So having that ministry, I acknowledge my purpose. So I have to purposefully want to know what you have going on. Mm-hmm. I have to purposely want you to win. So having that purposeful agenda for you to win, I have to reach out, and then it becomes reciprocated, and that's how it should be in our communities.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, like I was telling you before.
I can hear it.
Anytime like Essence Fest, where it's a multitude of us coming into the city, you see these running lists that people start of Black restaurants or businesses to patronize, during these events. And they always seem endless, know, and people are left out. And then you'll see in the comments, like these businesses like, oh, y'all didn't mention us, whatever. So we definitely know the reason why we need a platform like yours.
Right.
What's one of the biggest mistakes that you see that small businesses make? Is it just
they being cheap? Just being cheap. Marketing has a monetary value to it. Mm-hmm. You cannot say Facebook is your only level of marketing.
Indeed.
Because you're going to miss out on a demographic that do not like Facebook. Right. So you have to
He's not on Facebook.
I'm not.
Yeah, true statement. True statement.
So my business is.
Right. Which is good. A little bit. Which is good. But you have to understand that you have to pay in order for you to succeed.
Right.
They say, oh, you gotta spend something to get some. Kill that. It's language.
Right.
You have to invest in your business. It's the language. Stop trying to use these old cliches to talk business, because you can't pass cliches down to your children.
Right.
You can pass information and education on to your children. You have to invest into your business or your company if you want someone to invest into it.
Right.
We have to be that strategic in our language in order for us to transcend into the direction that we're striving to go.
Yeah, one of the things I would always tell people when I did consulting is that people are going to take your business as seriously as you take it. So if you treat it like a hobby and you don't have your shit together, then when you bring it to people, they're like, oh, that's cute. They're not. Yeah. You can see how much energy and, professionalism and passion, you put into it. It shows, it exudes, and how you speak about it, the things that you say. So when people come to you and want to list their business, what do they need to have?
Just go on the website. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Once you go on the website, you see join and you click join. You have the free platform, and then you have the other paid platforms where you're able to sell your products. There's no split disbursement. So like, say if you're selling purses on Texas Black pages, you're able to sell those purses and list those products on Texas Black pages. It's not, I receive 10% at the point of sale. I receive 10% at the point of sale, because no, your platform is made for you to be successful. Now, where the income coming from Texas Black pages is the marketing aspect, because as often as you utilize your business and your platform, then I'm looking at the analytics from the marketing perspective. It's kind of like having an app. You have in-app purchases, and then you have paid apps.
Right.
Apps that are free with in-app purchases have increased amount of usage than a paid app. Like, I ain't paying no goddamn 99 cents. But if I have a free app, but then I have 99 cent of a tag, like you're playing like Fortnite or Clash of Clans, whatever they call it, and you're paying for those little things, it's because the suspense wants you to pay more. The enticement wants you to pay more. So that's what it's about. when people begin to sell products, they're able to sell products, like even realtors. You're able to list your homes on there and market your listing because you have analytics as well as you get a QR code once you list your business. So, I mean, it's just it's self-explanatory. Log in, register, and use your directory as an addition to what you already currently have. Exactly.
And I mean, it was a very simple process, just signing up, joining on the business. And I would say, going back to what we were talking about earlier, there's clearly a passion for what you do. You know what I mean? From the first time I met you, you know, we were I believe it was at a Dr. Umar Johnson event years ago. But yeah, I mean, and he's very, very much a man of intention. You know, we met. Hey, I got this going on. Check out the website. Let's talk. I was like, I talked to 10 people that night. I said the same thing. But of those 10 people, you're the only one I still keep in contact with because you're always on the go. You're always on the road. We're always sharing information about events, different things like that. We're always encouraging each other and sharing information. And in my mind, I feel like that is the vision that you have for Texas Black Pages with the businesses that are within. So my question is to you, how close are you to that actualization of that vision? I know 17 months, but just kind of a report.
There's over 200,000 black businesses registered in the state of Texas. I have only over 7,000 of that 200,000. So if you break the 200,000 down, you chop it up to 10%, there's 20,000. Chop the 20% down, it's 2,000. Chop that down even more. I'm still making progress.
Right.
But for me, it's about how do you elevate the culture? You elevate the culture by creating a disruption. That's what Texas Black Pages is. Texas Black Pages is a disruption. Texas Black Pages is power, because when you have state agencies and they say, well, we don't know where the black businesses are, but where they're continuing to give the contracts to the Good Old Boy program because they don't want to pay someone to do the research, so they always go back to the well that always I'm sure they're getting something on the back end, but on the front end, that's where we come in at, becoming the unified front. My goal is to consolidate every black business directory in the state of Texas. I know there's a North Texas black business directory. I know in Austin there is
one of my questions.
I know in Austin there is a Austin Black Wall Street. In Houston there's a Houston Black Pages. In Houston as well, brother D-Mars, he has blackpages.com. In San Antonio, there's a society out there, but I don't believe they have their Black Pages, their business directory up yet. And there's another brother here in Dallas. This is my thing. When we consolidate our resources, I mean, you can keep your directory, you can keep your businesses. My goal is not to tap into your businesses. My goal is to tap into the culture of business, so we all become the narrators of what we should see or what other people should see. How do you emulate excellence? You emulate excellence by the examples that are being set. So if you had a directory, she had a directory, and I have one, if there is a good story that needs to be told, if you only have 500 followers, you have 15,000, I have 15,000. Total, our demographics is what the people see.
Right.
So to me, I'm not worried about other directories, but I'm worried about my people. I'm worried about the nature of business. Just like I said in the email, we have to become business woke. We can talk about being woke all day, black power, blah, blah, blah. But are we business woke? You can say black power, but you cannot be business woke, so now you don't have any equity in your community. Equity is being business woke. Knowing that you're passing on legacy through equity is being business woke. You're not passing on any equity if you don't own any equity. You have to be a business owner. You have to pass on the knowledge of owning a business to your siblings sometime, and also to your children, because that is who's going to carry it on, whether they tap into what you're bringing to them and pass down, whether they become publishers or just understand the graphics of it. There is something that they're going to like that is going to transition down to them that, oh, daddy did it. I may not be a publisher, but I can draw. I may not draw, but I love bringing people together. Just so much stuff.
Well, that was a really quick first half.
Yeah, that was super fast.
A lot of great information. We're here with Ronnie Russell. We are going to take a quick break and we will return back to the quad.